Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. Ladies and gentlemen, on my channel, I'm always telling you guys, live an active lifestyle, make smart nutritional choices. Fight against the laziness, ladies and gentlemen, right? The laziness is the key here. You are lazier than you believe. We're so lazy in this country, in this world even, ladies and gentlemen. We're just lazy, and people don't even realize it. And I've told you guys many times, you must continue to fight against that laziness, ladies and gentlemen. It's creeping up on you every single day. You must continue to fight it. It's trying to get you. Don't let it win. And one of the things that's really pissing me off in society, and one of the examples of how lazy we've gotten in society, and how in society it's become accepted. People accept people being lazy, being out of shape, being fat. We've accepted in society because now we can't offend people. God forbid you call people out for being lazy, for being obese. Right? You can't say anything to people now. Just let them be, so to speak, right? Let them kill themselves and become a burden on society. No, ladies and gentlemen, not on this channel. We must continue to set the record straight and make sure that we're letting people know the facts, the truth about themselves, right? You're not doing anybody any favors by sugarcoating things, by not being honest with people. But in society now, we can't be honest with people. But one of the things that's really pissing me off in society now, because we've gotten so accepted about people being lazy, is people using handicap signs when they're not handicapped. Now, I've talked about this in the past before, and I've given several examples, man. But just today, I came across someone who parked in a handicap spot, right? They had a handicap sign on their car. They parked in the handicap sign. It was a guy, and he got out of the car. And as he was getting out of the car, I noticed this man was not handicapped. There's nothing wrong with this gentleman. He was able-bodied. There was nothing wrong. There's no physical handicap. No physical handicap. I don't want to hear anything about your mental handicaps. Once again, these people are driving cars out in the world, but yet and still they're so lazy and they're so handicapped that they have to park closer to wherever they're going. God forbid they have to walk an extra 20, 30 feet. They won't be able to do it because they're handicapped. And this grown man parked in a handicapped spot and then proceeded to walk into the building. Nothing wrong with him. And then what really got me even worse, what really pissed off even more, is when this guy left the building, he jogged back to his car. So he was able-bodied enough to actually physically do a light jog back to his vehicle, but he was so handicapped that he had to park in the handicapped spot, the closest available spot to the building which he was going into. This is becoming a problem in society. Now, I'm not going to speak for overseas and other countries, but here in America, we got a lot of dirtbags out here, man. That guy was a dirtbag, in my opinion. Now, once again, back in the day when I was growing up, to be in a handicapped spot, to have a handicapped sign on your car, you must have been handicapped. There must have been something physically wrong with you that inhibited you, that prohibited you from being normal or being an able-bodied person like everyone else in society. So you need to park closer to wherever you are because you have a physical handicap. Physical handicap, whether you're in a wheelchair, you're missing a leg, you're missing an arm, whatever the case may be, you have a physical handicap that, like I said, inhibits you physically. So you need to park closer, things like that. We all get that. That's the way it used to be. So whenever someone parked in a handicap sign or a handicap spot and they got out of the vehicle, you knew for a fact this person was handicapped and they needed to be there and they deserved that spot. Now in society, you never know who's hopping out of these damn cars. It could be a young girl. It could be a young person in general, man, just hopping out of this vehicle. Maybe they stole the handicap sign from their grandmother and they're using it so they can park closer to the stores. You have dirtbag people doing this. I knew a guy, right, in where I used to live in an apartment complex, right? And there were handicapped spots. There weren't that many, though. But I knew a guy, man, that was using his dead wife's handicap sign. This woman had cancer. She died from cancer. She had a handicap sign because she was very weak going through the chemo. So she needed a handicap sticker. Understandable, right? She passed away. Like I said, rest in peace to that woman, man. She was a really nice lady, but she passed away, right? And her husband proceeded to continue to use the handicap sticker that she got after she was dead. To me, that was a dirtbag move. Not only was that a dirtbag move, but to take it a step further, there were other handicapped people that ended up not being able to park in these spots because this guy was always parked there when he was not handicapped. This guy worked a normal job, able-bodied guy, man. He was fine. He could do everything anyone else could do, man. There was literally nothing wrong with him. The handicap sign was for his wife who had passed away. And this guy was preventing actual handicapped people from parking in this spot. Why? Because he's lazy. He was a lazy piece of garbage, this guy, right? See, the laziness doesn't just go to you physically, but it goes to you mentally. You're mentally lazy. So you don't care about other people and you don't care about what's right or wrong. You're so lazy, all you're concerned about is yourself, your laziness. You see how that goes in society, guys, how it trickles down and affects and impacts other people? So the guy who couldn't park in that handicap spot, this guy was a very bad diabetic. He was in very bad shape. He was very elderly. Guy was like in his 80s. So his wife, because this guy couldn't do it himself, she got into an argument with this other guy about him parking that handicap spot, preventing them from using that spot when he didn't need to be in a handicap spot. He wasn't handicapped. It turned into a whole big mess, and this guy looked like a clown when the police came and they wondered why he had a handicap sign. He had to explain everything to the police, and he looked stupid, like a dirt bag. He had to tell the police that this is not my handicap sign. This was for my wife who died, and I'm still using it because I'm a piece of garbage. So, ladies and gentlemen, in society, man, we have gotten so lazy that we think that handicap or laziness is a handicap now. We've used laziness as a handicap now. It's an excuse for everything now, right? People are fat, people are out of shape. They don't care. You have to accept them. Oh, you have to accept me for who I am. No, I don't, because once again, you're a burden on society. You're a burden on yourself. You people walk around miserable, right? They're always depressed. They're upset. They have no confidence. They're not feeling good inside, so they're not feeling good on the outside. This is how you're going through life. You think that's helping us in society? No, it's not. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're not helping anyone out in society. You're not being a contributing member of society. And that's what we should all aim to be, contributing to society in a positive way, not a negative. And you being out of shape, unhealthy, lazy is not helping anyone in society. You using a handicap sign because you're too lazy to walk the extra 20 feet is not helping society. It's a negative, it's a burden on society because once again, you're impacting the people who actually need these spots, who are actually handicapped. And I said, the nerve of these people to do this. And I hate people doing these things. Sometimes I say things to people if I see them in town and someone gets out of the vehicle and they're walking all fine and they're normal and they're carrying on. I'll call people out sometimes, but sometimes I have the time for these things. But you know who you are out there. Stop using your laziness as a handicap. Laziness is not a handicap, ladies and gentlemen, all right? So if you got a handicap sticker because you're lazy, you know who you are. You know who you are. You know who I'm talking to. The people who actually have a handicap know who they are. They're legit. The other people, a large majority of people now in America specifically, y'all a bunch of dirtbags, man. Y'all using your laziness as a handicap. Being lazy, being overweight, and having no energy or not feeling good because you're not taking care of yourself, making smart nutritional choices, living the active lifestyle, that's no one's fault but your own. No one's fault but your own. And it's really sad that these people are issued these handicap signs when there's nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with them. If you're not elderly and if you're not physically handicapped, there should be no reason for you to be parking in a handicap spot. And conversely, there are people out there that get this. I remember there was an elderly lady. She came to the school that I was working at, right? And we have handicap parking. So, damn, bugs be following you out here, man. So she comes into the building and I saw she parked in a handicap spot. No doubt, man. She's an elderly woman. This woman had to be in her late 70s, early 80s. She came into the building, but she seemed able-bodied. For an elderly woman, she was in really good shape. She moved well, which is what we all hope to do. So she comes in the building and immediately she asked me if it was okay for her to park in a handicap spot. And I was confused. I looked at her and I was like, of course. I mean, you have a handicap sign. Like, why would you not be able to park in the handicap spot? I asked her. And she said, well, I just got it issued to me because I'm elderly. And they told me because I'm a senior citizen that I'm eligible for a handicap sign. She felt guilty about it, this woman. This elderly woman felt guilty about parking in a handicap spot because she didn't really feel that she deserved or needed a handicap spot because she felt that she was an able-bodied person, which she was, but she was also qualified because, like I said, she was very elderly. This was not a 50-year-old woman or a 60-year-old woman. She was in her late 70s, early 80s, right? And like I said, she was moving great, but she felt guilty about parking that handicap spot. That's the kind of person that she was. Now, that's honorable. I respected the hell out of that woman. I told her, I respect that. I'm like, but you're fine parking there. Don't worry about it. You earned it. Living to old age, becoming a senior citizen, 70, 80 years old, that's not easy, ladies and gentlemen. Not everyone makes it that old or makes it that far in life. So once again, she earned that all the years that she lived on this earth. And like I said, man, she was very honorable for her to not feel comfortable and asking if it was okay for her to park in there. But meanwhile, you have other people like that dirtbag guy I was telling you about that will think nothing of it. They'll park in a handicapped spot, even though they know for a fact they're not handicapped. They don't care. Remember, you have to look at yourself in the mirror, ladies and gentlemen. It don't matter what I say or what the next person says. You have to look at yourself in the mirror. You have to go to bed at night. You do. Not me. That's why I tell people all the time, man, you should always carry yourself with the integrity, with the honor, with the class, right? with the integrity. Always carry yourself with these things, ladies and gentlemen, so you can hold your head up high. Look yourself in the mirror, right? And know that you're doing everything possible in your power to be a decent person. Remember, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Those are the facts. Remember, don't use your laziness as an excuse. Don't use your laziness as a handicap, because that's not how it works, ladies and gentlemen.